Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the Sunny Days Ahead release blog hop with Simon Says Stamp, and I have a fun project to share with you featuring the Luck and Hugs stamp set. You see that long square border stamp? I'm going to use that to create a background. And so I have it lined up on my MISTI here, going vertically on a panel of sea glass cardstock. And then I'm going to emboss this repeatedly. Everything on my card today is embossed. It's like embossed to the high heavens. So first I rub down with the magic powder bag and I ink up the stamp with Versamark ink. I stamp it down and then I'm going to pour on some clear embossing powder. This is how I always do it. I use a scratch piece of paper and I just pour it on. And I kind of fiddle and futz around with it, making sure that it's got a good coating. And there you have it. Now, I'm not going to hit it with the heat gun yet. I'm going to put it back in the MISTI, and I'm going to slide the panel to the left. And I measured how far apart I want my strips of squares to be, and I measured it 3/8 of an inch. So I never move the stamp. I just continuously move my panel to the left 3/8 of an inch. And you can adjust this depending on what you're stamping, how far apart you want to space it. If you just do it consistently, it makes it look very neat and orderly and even, and the stamp is always consistently straight, and I love it. It just makes me feel like my life is in order, even though it's a hot mess. But okay, so I do this over and over, you know. I'm not saying this is a quick card, but I'm saying it's an awesome card. Okay, so I did all of them except for one row on the right, which I couldn't do because then I wouldn't have anything to hold on to. Right? So I'm heating all those rows with the heat gun, and then I'll go ahead and stamp that final row. Okay, you see how there's a little bit of stamp on my MISTI sponge there? That helps me to line up and remember where I was before the last time. And then I just slide it 3/8 of an inch to the left. I need to put on that song, to the left, to the left, to the left. You know that song? It's some type of line dancing song. I think I've attempted to do it a time or two, you know. I don't really know it, but I attempt. Fun fact, though, back in the day, when I was in high school, I was voted best dancer. Yes, I was. Okay, and I know I grew up in a small town. There weren't that many dancers, but hey, it counts for something, right? And, you know, every time my kids make fun of me, I remind them that I was voted best dancer in high school. My daughter, she's like a TikTok master now. She's learning all those TikTok moves, which are all the same. But I tell her, if I see a girl with a crop top on and she's flicking her hair, I'm like, get the trash off. Because I don't like it. I don't like crop tops, and I don't like girls flicking their hair. It's too much for me. I don't know. I just feel like they're trying too hard. And okay, don't mind me and my mom rants. I get going sometimes. My daughter she just rolls her eyes and is like, Mom, I've heard it before. Okay, I want to show you how I store my embossing. I've got clear and white, my magic powder bag, and my Versamark ink. I have this little bin that I've had for years, and this is what I've been using for years, and it works because I don't have room for all the tubs. I just use that and scratch paper and go to town. Okay, so now I'm going to go over my embossed panel with Distress ink. I have Cracked Pistachio, Mermaid Lagoon, and Blueprint Sketch. So first I started with Cracked Pistachio, which really did not show up at all. So then I went with Mermaid Lagoon. That was nice. And then I wanted to amp it up one more level, and I used Blueprint Sketch. And I just go round and round the perimeter, and I kind of fade it into nothing in the center. So it gets this gradual fade into nothing, and I'll draw your eye in towards the sentiment. That's what I'm going for, at least. I really didn't know what I was doing at the time. This card is a complete evolution. And then I always go over my embossing with a dry paper towel, get any excess ink off of the embossing. And there you have the panel. Now for the Emboss Resist on the sentiment. This time I'm using a combination of warm tones. Since the background was cool tones, I like to use warm tones. It's like poppity pop, right? Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. I used worn lipstick, spun sugar, spice marmalade, and squeezed lemonade. And then I'll use the coordinating die to pop this out. And I decided I needed more vibrancy. So on the very bottom of the hugs, I did a little candied apple, carved pumpkin, and a mustard seed, I believe. And that just gives it the little va-va-voom. You know what I mean? It's like wakes it up. Okay, and then I did a few flowers from the Luck and Hugs. Again, I embossed them. Like I said before, this is not a quick card, but it's an embossing awesome card. That reminds me of the Awesome Blossom. You ever had an Awesome Blossom? I think they were from Chili's, the restaurant. And oh man, they were so good. It's like a big, huge fried onion. And you take it out, you take it and dip it in that secret sauce. And it was like, pa-pow. Okay, every video, I swear to you, I end up talking about food. I don't know, but speaking of food, my oldest son, Bo, yesterday, he made our family lunch. So he's on a kick now that he's, a professional athlete. He's really disciplined with his eating. He's trying to bulk up. He wants to bulk up, whatever that means. I don't know. Okay, so we normally eat sandwiches for lunch, and the bread here is like next level. So, the sandwiches are phenomenal. But he don't do that anymore. I'm like, what do you want for lunch? He's like, Mom, I usually eat a rice and a protein and some vegetables. So I said, okay, you know what? Take my credit card, go buy the ingredients, come back, make us lunch, like Bo style. So he went and bought rice and chicken and some zucchini, and mushrooms and peppers, and he went to town. He did it all himself. He even bought he made a sauce, some type of a creamy sauce. And, this is what's comical. All the kids, even Charlie, who's so picky, he turns his nose up at everything. He was just raving. Bo can do no wrong in his eyes, so everybody's just raving about Bo. Oh, this is so good, Bo. And I was like, dang, when I make food, it's like, what's this? Are you going to make anything good? It's like life of a mom, you know what I mean? So here I've assembled the card. And I'm going to take one of these reverse mom sentiment strips. I just have this one little piece at the top. It says, thinking of you, Mom. I'm going to use one of the sentiment label dies to cut that out. And then I'm going to trim off the mom part. That way I can send it to anybody I want. And I don't really call my mom anyway. So I have some mom cards already set aside for mom. And this one can go to whoever I want. I pop it up right there, and then I do a few of these sequins. Now I trim one kind of in half. That way I can tuck it because I have all that foam tape. I couldn't quite tuck the sequins, so I had to trim it. And these sequins are new, the April showers and soft sunrise. And this card is finished. I'm thinking of you today and sending big, colorful hugs. And maybe we could all turn that song on, to the left, to the left, to the left, and get a little jig. Make sure and check out the rest of the Simon Says Stamp Sunny Days Ahead release blog hop. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.